Hey, Tom.
Hey, how you doing?
Great. Thanks for hanging out today, man.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, dude. So I want to hear all about Penrose Brewing, but in order to do that, I got to get the full story. So we got to start at your first ever alcoholic beverage.
Oh, I mean, besides just like little sips with parents, trying to tell all of us kids that you don't like bitter things, when you're growing up.
Sure.
It was probably that year 2000 Y2K night in a friend's basement and having I think it was a 6-pack of Killians is what it was. So we were trying to be the cool kids with the nicer beers in the grand scheme of things. But
no kidding. But also on Y2K, let's be honest here. Did you think it was the actual apocalypse? And you were like, well, I'm not going to go out not having drank a whole 6-pack of Killians.
Exactly. If it was, I didn't want to be left out. So
covering all your bases. This is good.
Exactly.
A smart man. So then what, you go from Killian's, obviously continue your drinking career. And then what brought you to deciding that you wanted to co-found Penrose Brewing Company?
Well, I've been in brewing for basically my entire professional career. So I'm an engineer by schooling, and then went to work for Anheuser-Busch for a few years in St. Louis and Georgia, and then moved to Chicago and worked for Goose Island there, and then decided to be a part of Penrose as we started up. So
interesting. Engineering into brewing.
Yeah.
So how does that work?
Well, most of my friends went on to design like cars or anything, a lot of cool things. But I decided to go into beer. Anheuser-Busch liked to hire engineers because they said if you can learn engineering, you can learn brewing. So a lot different than a lot of other brewers coming into this who homebrew first. I just kind of jumped in and said, all right, let's go for it. And let's take that big leap and learn about brewing from some of the biggest breweries in the world.
So we know that our beer is in good hands. We got an engineer on this. You know how to science this ish. Hell yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm also the one scrubbing the tanks and cleaning the floors sometimes too. So it's a little bit of everything around here.
You do all of the things.
Yep, exactly. As most brewers do.
Right. So what is your, I guess, brewing philosophy then at Penrose? What makes you guys stand out of the brewery crowd? Because it is quite a crowd, as you know.
It is quite a crowd, and it just gets more and more crowded every year. So we started up in 2014, and I don't remember the exact number of breweries that were open back then, but I mean, it was about half of what it is now, it feels like, especially in the Chicagoland area. So one of the things that we've done is kind of grown and learn from what we do and morph our style. A lot of what we do right now are we call them kind of juicy Midwest IPA series. Our Goofy Boots is probably the thing that makes us stand out the most. Goofy Boots is our 2-time Great American Beer Festival award-winning hazy IPA. So I would definitely think that's our kind of lead point here at Penrose, and something that we kind of stake our claim to, and what we kind of try to keep as our brewing philosophy these days.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously one of the biggest parts of a brewery is the people. We go to have a drink with all of our friends. Is there a customer story that sticks out in your mind that you've had? Maybe they are a freaking crazy person who you're like, I can't believe I just had that experience. Or like maybe a very touching story, like, oh my God, I can't believe beer really does go this deep and get into the souls of these people. So do you have a story that sticks out?
I think there are plenty on both sides. There's lots of crazy times in the brewery. Anytime you're in a alcohol industry, definitely kind of brings out one side of people. We've had people walk through our front plate glass window multiple times. That's always interesting and funny, as long as they're okay. Everybody's been okay. But yeah, we've had, I think 3, maybe 4 people walk through that window. So we kind of have things taped up there so they don't see it now.
You got to do that, put like a bird feeder in there.
Yeah, exactly. What do you do for the bird? Do you like put saran wrap or something on it so they don't fly into it? But yeah, so that's always funny. And then just the stories of just the people that we've met along the way and now hang out with on a daily basis, and people that we didn't know before opening Penrose, but now we talk to them more than some of our family members. We see them almost every day around here.
Awesome. So how did you guys get through 2020 and the pandemic and cope with all of that? Because obviously it was not an easy feat. And frankly, we're glad that you're still here.
We are too. 2020 was a definite trying time. There were times in that pandemic when it was just me in the building. So running kind of both the tap room operations and the brewing and curbside pickup and everything in between. But luckily, we're back up to mostly full staff now. We've got most of our team back with us, which is great to have. So I think just getting through it was just a lesson in perseverance and adapting with the changes. Every few weeks, it seemed like there was something new. You know, hey, we can have a patio. Great, let's throw some tables out there. It'll last 2 weeks or whatever, and then it lasts 8 months, 18 months, whatever like that. So us just adapting and kind of learning a lot about ourselves along the way is it's been interesting. It's been trying at times, but here we are, and we're hopefully kind of knock on wood near the other side of it, and are able to kind of keep moving forward. So.
Oh, don't say it too soon. Don't say it too soon. We're gonna jinx it.
I know.
So then what does 2021 look like for you guys the rest of the year? What do you have on the docket?
Well, lots more of our boots series. So that Goopy Boots, that's kind of where we're staking our name on and rolling with everything centered around there. We think that's one of our better beers. Obviously, the medals have shown that. So we're kind of expanding that, growing that, trying out different styles and hopping techniques with that. So it's just our time to kind of hunker down and get to work. So it's been 7 years now that we've been open. So it's every year you change, you morph, you learn something new about yourself, and you take that and you kind of let it run with it.
I have 2 questions for you.
Yes.
One, Goofy Boots. Where does that name come from? Because I'm getting like heavy Reno 911 vibes of new boot goofing.
Yeah, it's close. It is a movie reference. So there's a quote in a movie that we kind of structured that name around. So.
Do you care to share the quote?
I'll let other people look it up. The movie is Rolling Kansas. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then in that same vein, tell me the story of the name Penrose Brewing.
So Penrose is a Penrose tiling pattern, is a mathematical tiling pattern that all goes together in these large, intricate patterns that all fit together because of the math and science behind it. So we kind of relate it to brewing because at the end of the day, all the people who are drinking it care about is the beautiful beer at the end of the day. You know, the nice beer in your glass, and that's what you care about. But the reason it tastes like that, it looks like that, smells like that, is because all of the math and science that our team, the brewers, have put in to that beer, kind of in the background. So we kind of relate it to that Penrose tiling pattern that way.
Very engineering of you.
Yeah. There comes that engineer sneaking out every now and then. So.
I love it. Is there anything that we haven't touched on that you want to get out into the world?
No, we just got a lot of great stuff coming up in fall. You know, the fact that we're currently open in the grand scheme of things. We've got our food trucks coming back, our trivia nights coming back. We're planning our Oktoberfest for September 18th. It'll be our Oktoberfest. So just trying to get back with all our friends that we've missed over the last year. So trying to get everybody back into this brewery and taste the great beers that we're making.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for hanging out, and we can't wait to taste your great beers as well.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Cheers.
Cheers. Yours probably tastes a lot better than my PBR.
Grab some Goofy Boots.
I got to go get some Goofy Boots so I can be new boot goofing.
There you go.